Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Well, that certainly didn't take long, did it? As of the 5th of June, the United States has now basically banned all leisure travel to Cuba. Family visits are still okayed, but if you were going by cruise or at a hotel, anything along those lines, those are now banned as of the 5th of June. And of course, the cruising industry has to respond, and naturally they've responded rather quickly to this. After it was announced back in April that there may be some bilateral moves made by the government and it may affect cruising, it may affect some things, the cruise lines have come prepared and they were getting things organized. It's us as the consumer and cruisers who really were left up in the air, not knowing, because the cruise lines couldn't announce what they were going to do in case nothing ever happened, right? You can't say, oh, by the way, we're changing all these cruises if this happens, and if this doesn't, it just doesn't work. They have to wait for the announcement. So now that the announcement is official, for instance, Carnival Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise Line, and Virgin Cruise Lines, the brand new cruise ship that hasn't even launched yet, is now changing all their itineraries and canceling all their stops into Cuba, no matter where it was going. It doesn't matter if it was Havana or anybody else, it's not going. Chances are a lot of the stops now will be readdressed and heading to Cozumel for a lot. If it was just a one-night stop in Cuba, chances are you'll head to Cozumel, as it seems the most likely port for all these cruise ships to head in roughly the same timeline. Now, let's go with Carnival, for instance, because Carnival has actually come up with the game plan. The Carnival Sunshine, all their cruises going to Cuba in 2020 have been canceled, and the itineraries will change. They will notify people shortly what the new itineraries will be once they lock it down. Next point is, Carnival Cruise Line knows that this wasn't Carnival's fault, this wasn't passengers' fault, this is a government decision. So what they've done is, if your itinerary changes and you still remain on the cruise, you still take the cruise as normally, so instead of going to Havana, you go to Cozumel, you stay on the cruise, they're going to award you with an extra $100 onboard credit just as a thank you. Now, say you decided, yeah, I don't really want it to go to Cozumel, I've been there a bunch of times, but I want to switch my cruise from this Carnival ship to this Carnival ship and just make a change. They will allow you to do that, no fines, no penalties, no nothing, and they will also give you a $50 onboard credit for staying loyal to the Carnival Cruise Line. If you decide that you want your money back, because Cuba, that was it. That's the reason I'm going on this cruise. It was the one cruise I wanted to do. They will refund you 100% of your money, no questions asked. Carnival, I often come down hard on you sometimes, but I have nothing but praise for you guys to say on this. You've done it right. You have not only made the changes, you're rewarding people for just staying on the cruise, and make for the inconvenience of the passengers, even though it's not your fault. Remember, Carnival had nothing to do with this. No cruise line had ever said, hey, please make us not go there anymore. So yeah, they stepped up. Now, we haven't heard what Norwegian Cruise Line is doing. Virgin hasn't even really launched anything. Their itineraries are sort of up in the air as the ship hasn't even launched. So we'll hear what happens to them, but Norwegian so far has not come out with anything as of this video. Hopefully they will, fall in line with what Carnival's done as a show of good faith, if you will, to their loyal consumers, especially if they want their consumers to stay with them and not go to another cruise line. So hopefully Norwegian follows suit. But the cruise lines have reacted really quickly, and as I warned you about yesterday's video, if you were thinking you were going in 2020, even though you booked it, chances are you may not be. Well, it turns out, yeah, you're not. So all those cruises have now been completely canceled no matter what, and you can't blame the cruise lines for doing it. they're not going to send a ship a quarter full, half full. It's just not economically viable for them, and they don't want to get into any more trouble with government officials if something ever happens. So it's easier just to cancel them outright, reschedule it, re-itinerary it, and everything goes smoothly from there. Well, that's the latest update. I'll let you know if I hear anything about Norwegian and Virgin. And until next time, well, I hope you liked this news update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.